I've been thinking a lot about Garland, Texas and the Prophet Muhammad cartoon contest where two men who tried to attack it were shot dead. And I just feel like, where does it end? And every time I want to throw my hands up and watch a baby wombat video, I remember.
So as you know, recently I've found this AJ Plus channel through the Young Turks because they are partners with the Young Turks. Now AJ Plus is Al Jazeera Plus, and I was very critical and I had a knee-jerk reaction where I was like, oh my god, these guys are Muslim apologists, they're so different than me. They're being shady, they're being dishonest, this is terrible. Now I think I might have jumped the gun because I come across this video where they're talking about the Garland shooting. And I think one of the things that we need to not lose track of is that these are people too. Is that even though we have disagreements, these people are not stupid and they're not evil, immoral monsters. If two people come in with guns to try to kill somebody, the people at AJ Plus know that's wrong, and they know that it's time to criticize the shooters. I mean, that's not even arguable. That's just like basic humanity. And so perhaps I have judged AJ Plus too rapidly, too fast. I jumped the gun. I assumed that they were worse than they actually are. Because in this video, they go off on their own, in a sense. They go off on the shooters. They go off. I thought I go off in my videos and am scathing and harsh when I see immorality in the Muslim world or anywhere. What AJ Plus does in this video is an unmitigated tongue lashing toward the shooters, towards terrorists, towards ISIS, and towards any jihadist who would be stupid and immoral and evil enough to go in and try to kill people for drawing a picture. And I was like, mouth open, like, what? I gotta rethink who AJ Plus is. Perhaps they are an ally in our fight against Muslim extremism. So let's watch as these two Garland jihadists get verbally assaulted by the people at Al Jazeera.
And every time I want to throw my hands up and watch a baby wombat video, I remember Pam Geller. Pam Geller is the president of the sponsors of the cartoon contest, the American Freedom Defense Initiative, and you could say hates Muslims professionally.
She's already run ads in New York City and Washington, D.C., and the ads call for stopping aid to Muslim countries.
These religious leaders should look towards the hateful Islamic texts and teachings that call for the annihilation of the Jewish people. We have a president who is aligned with the jihad force.
She claims to care about free speech, kind of like Lenny of Mice and Men cares about his puppy.
He's always killing them by petting them too hard.
Which is giving her way too much credit. She's so off the right-wing rails that even Fox News tried to convince her she was being unnecessarily provocative.
You don't do it in a crass, crude way by insulting someone's religion. You do it by rising above that and saying, we are not like you.
And that would be from Fox News' Book of Ethics on page...
Holy Christ, I'm malfunctioning here. I'm having a nervous breakdown. Wait a minute, what did Fox just say? You rise above it? You say we're not like you? What? Yeah, exactly. By expressing your freedom of speech, you are already suggesting you're not like them. You're saying, look, you guys don't believe in freedom. I do. I'm expressing it. Screw you. That is rising above it. What they're suggesting is to cower away and let Islam take over everything and just be subjugated. Sorry, not happening. And the Book of Ethics, oh my God. First of all, how much do you love this absolute hit piece smear campaign against the victim? I don't care who it was. It happens to be a Jew. A Jewish woman who supports Israel, which makes it just a perfect storm for these people. I love how they've highlighted her when at Garland there were hundreds of people at that contest. Hundreds. Security forces, ex-Muslims, Christians, atheists, Jews, a whole wide spectrum of people there. But they're not tar and feathering everybody. No, they're going after her. And they're also mentioning her political orientation for some reason. Hey, a couple of psychopaths came to kill you with AK-47s. What were your political views again? Who did you vote for? Oh, you're right wing. Oh, okay. Well, then let's talk about that. This is like a woman gets raped, and then instead of you mentioning the rapist, criticizing the rapist, instead of that, you say, how many guys have you had sex with? Huh? What? How many? When did you lose your virginity? Were you flirting with this guy? Were you flirting with the rapist? Just yes or no. It's a yes or no question. Well, my brown-skinned friend, I'm a liberal Democrat who voted for Obama, who is in favor of legalizing pot, gay marriage, who is anti-gun, anti-hunting, hates Republicans, hates the right-wingers, pro-environment, anti-fracking, pro-choice, especially when that choice is abortion. That's me. So this is mindless. This is absolutely scandalous what is going on here. There is no mention of the shooters. There is zero condemnation of them. This is attacking one person out of the hundreds that were targeted that day and smearing her. This is incredible. This is unfathomable.
And it looks like she's just taunting everybody. What is she doing with drawing Muhammad?
Donald Trump thought she was tasteless. And that's the comb-over talking.
And then we have to sit through the fucking... This makes Jimmy Dore look funny. Christopher Hitchens once wrote, "Women are not funny." That has just been confirmed. Now, it happens to not be true. The averages might suggest it, but there's many funny women. This is not one of them. And we have to sit through this shit of like they intersperse these lame jokes to try to like pep it up. So it's like, oh yeah, this is crazy, immoral, evil shit that we're peddling out. But here's a lame joke. And here's some peppy music. This is the equivalent of watching Holocaust footage to the music of... It's not helping. I'm still listening to what you're saying. The music hasn't distracted my subconscious to the point where I'm like, well, this is probably good because the music is good. The music is uplifting, so this is probably a good message.
In her defense, Geller compared herself to none other than civil rights legend Rosa Parks.
What would he have said about Rosa Parks? Rosa Parks should never have gone to the front of the bus.
Oh, Geller has a dream. Too bad it's also our pantsless recurring nightmare, like this debate with hardline ISIS supporter Anjem Chaudhry.
The fact is that you insulted the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and obviously you knew the consequences. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had thousands of dollars worth of security.
I live in America.
When you talk about murdering innocent
consequences.
people,
It's like a shrill sequel to Predator vs. Alien. Can't we just shoot them back into space? But if Pam Geller is all about free speech, you gotta ask, where was she when Occupy Wall Street was being shut down for speaking out about inequality? Or when peaceful protesters in Ferguson were met by tanks?
And then again, we have this totally deranged thing that progressives do, where they just stray away from whatever the first topic was, and they're going to get to the three things they want to talk about. Occupy Wall Street? What does Pamela Geller have to do with that? What are you talking about? This is like a completely separate issue. Why is it Pamela Geller's responsibility to be in favor of Occupy Wall Street? Screw Occupy Wall Street. Oh, I see what it is, because it's fuck America, fuck white people. Right, we have to hit on those points. It's fuck the Jews, defend the Muslims, fuck Pamela Geller, she's a Jew, she's pro-Israel, fuck Israel, fuck the Jews, we've done that. Fuck America, which is Occupy Wall Street, fuck America, it's the corporations, it's this and that. Fuck Ferguson, which is, oh yeah, I can't believe those police, when a black guy breaks the law and then comes up and punches you in the face and then goes for your gun and then charges you, how dare you defend yourself? Fucking ridiculous. This is such a shit sandwich that you really do need to get the guys who dissected the alien at Roswell, that team of guys, you need to put them on this. And they need to dissect this video in the same manner, with painstaking detail. Okay, we need to get archaeologists in here and dust off the layers of shit that is in this argument, like they're unearthing a velociraptor. It takes time. They go so fast. They don't want to slow down. They want to rattle off 100 terrible points and then end it. Later, send it out to the echo chamber of racist, bigoted Muslim apologists, and let's pat ourselves on the back for a job well done.
In a Time magazine op-ed, she says that hate speech is subjective and censorship is civilizational suicide, making her the philosophical guru of YouTube comment trolls. Don't delete my comment about you being an ugly f***ing that's Sharia. She also writes, if a group will not stand for being offended without resorting to violence, that group will rule unopposed, while everyone else lives in fear. Except radical Muslims don't rule the US. In fact, I can only think of one group people fear that rules unopposed and gets pretty violent when offended. The police.
Oh my God. And that's the end of the video. That's it. It's completely just attacking the victim. One of the many victims. one that they've hand-selected because she's Jewish and pro-Israel, because she's right-wing. Attacking Pam Geller satisfies 4 out of the 5 things. She's American, she's pro-America. Attacking her is fuck America. She's Jewish? Well, that's a nut. See, Al Jazeera is not just progressive. They're Muslim defenders. They're Jew haters. They're blatant anti-Semites. So attacking Pam Geller is saying fuck Israel and fuck the Jews. She's right-wing. She's Republican. So it's also fuck Republicans. This is a perfect storm for Al Jazeera. And at the end, what do? The one remaining thing that they wanted to hit on? Fuck the cops. So what do? They bring up Ferguson. And then at the end they say, oh, the country's not run by radical Muslims. Oh no, we only have a few of them popping off and committing terrorist acts that are way beyond the 0.8%. It's like 15% of all terrorist attacks in America are from fucking Muslims, and they represent 0.8%. And that's men and women. I mean, men represent, 0.4%. And the men are committing 15% of the terror. Outrageous. But instead, it ends with, oh yeah, fuck the cops, by the way. How nauseating is this? Al Jazeera Plus, you have been identified, and you're being called out now. And I will send my flying monkeys, my pretties, my precious core of kangaroo supporters. I will send them to kill you. No, not to kill you, but to dislike your videos. Bum, bum, bum. Your videos will be disliked. Now sounds like some keyboard warrior shit. Sounds like some insignificant shit, and it is. Although ideas have meaning, and there are future generations that will look at this video, and your videos will stand in time, sitting there, saddled with dislikes. So even after your sycophantic, egotistical Muslims upvote your video, you're going to get a backlash from sane people. So it's not going to be some victory lap for you at AJ Plus of, oh, look at us, we're the new next wave of Muslim apologetics, and we use media, we're new media in fact. We know how to use computers too, and we're using them to our advantage. Oh, I'm really close to the microphone now. Oh, I'm really close to the microphone now. A microphone in my mouth. Could you hear that? You are inside my mouth now, Al Jazeera. You are inside my mouth now, Al Jazeera. But there's a time